How's y'all got? What's going on with y'all? I'm gonna hit the light a little bit, y'all. What y'all got going on tonight? How's everybody doing tonight, man? My name is Aaron. I go by the name of Aaron Real Talk. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me tonight, man. And tonight is Thursday. Thursday, we're gonna be going over some stories from parents out here dealing with no estrangement. For you got that don't know me, my name is Aaron. I go by the name of Aaron Real Talk. Make sure you like, share, hit that algorithm one time for your boy, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight, man. I really do. We'll bring this down a little bit. Bring this down a little bit, y'all. Appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight, man. Hold on. Bring it over here. Jamming out a little bit tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? We jamming out a little bit tonight, man. Like I said, I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. How's everybody doing tonight, man? In the chat, man, y'all let me know where y'all from, man. Let me know where you from in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy. Fix my hat. Hopefully, man, y'all had a great week, man. Hopefully you did, man. Like I say, tonight we telling stories and talking about stories from estrangement. I need some help from y'all. Y'all let me know. How do you navigate some of these things we talking about tonight, man? Man. Y'all in the chat, man. Let me know where you from, man. Let me know where you from. Like I said, my name is Aaron Real Talk. We talking about estrangement tonight, man. We're gonna be telling stories of DMs I receive every week about parents trying to navigate estrangement and how they're trying to deal with this, what they're trying to do to deal with it. So the first one, man, I'm gonna read these off to y'all on my computer. It's the birthday text, right? She says, my daughter hasn't spoken to me in 5 years. Today, she texts me one sentence, happy birthday. Do I answer with just thank you, or do I tell her how much I miss her, right? So I'm gonna ask you guys, I'm gonna ask the chat. So do you keep it short? Do you keep it short and just hit her with a thank you? Or do you pour your heart out? Or do you just ignore it? Right? Do you pour your heart out, or do you just ignore it? Or do you keep it short? Do you keep it short? Keep it short and simple. Because what I tell a lot of parents, you know, whenever you receive the happy birthday text out of the blue, you ain't heard from them in 4 or 5 years. A lot of us want to get ecstatic. We want to just say, hey, you know what, we back in there, things didn't change. But you can't do that. You can't move too quickly. Right? You can't let your emotions take over that fast, because you'll find yourself right back in the same position you were already at. So you got to be careful on how you move, right? My suggestion, what I told her I told her, keep it simple. Keep it simple and short. Do not go in, you know, I miss you. Maybe, no, I told her, I said, don't go in with I miss you. You can hit her with a I love you and I've been thinking about you. But if you go in with the whole paragraph, I love you, I miss you, I want to be in your life, how can we restart over, what can we do differently, all that type of shit, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to find yourself right back in the same situation that you were in at the beginning. So like I told her, I said, man, for me personally, you got to watch how you move. You got to move really patient. And watch yourself, because if you say the wrong thing, that relationship can go right back to where it once was, or what you're dealing with currently, right? So to me, like I told her, keep it short. Keep it short. Hey, it's good to hear from you. I was thinking about you. Bam, that's it. If she wants to come on and have more into the conversation where you guys are going to continue going over the conversation and talking, cool. Don't go back to begging and chasing. That's where we mess up at as parents. We go right back to begging and chasing. We right back where we started at. Right now, they got all the control again. You want to let them know, hey, missed you, been thinking about you. Bam. That's it. Keep it short, simple. Don't go back to the chasing. How can we get to this point? How we can get back to our old relationship? Don't do none of that shit. Because that's what they want you to do. And now you back in that same situation again, right? So it's hard, man. Don't turn a cracked door into a flood. So don't turn that cracked door that you leave that door cracked, but don't turn it into a flood. You got to be patient. You got to be patient. I tell parents that when you're dealing with estrangement and you've been dealing with it for years, you're trying to get to that point to where you can finally say, I'm getting back my old relationship. So we want that shit just to happen overnight. We want it to happen overnight. We want to get back to that point, but that's not going to happen. You got to move slow. You have to move slow if you're going to work this relationship out again. And understand, parents, you are dealing with an adult now. You're not dealing with your little teenager, your young child. You're not dealing with that version anymore. You're dealing with a full-fledged adult. So you got to move slow when you're coming back from estrangement, right? You got to move slow. That's what I tell parents all the time. Like, so the next question, the next story I got for you guys. My grandkids versus leverage. She says, my son says I can see my grandkids, but only if I apologize for something I didn't do. So you apologize just to see your grandbabies, right? Right? Would you apologize? Would you say, you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and fall on my sword. I know damn well I didn't do shit, but I'm going to fall on my sword just to see my grandbabies. Would you guys apologize to your son, even though you know you didn't do anything to warrant an apology? Would you guys apologize? You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know that, man. But because, you know, like for me, access bought with a fake apology rarely leads to respect. So if you buy, if you say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and apologize and fall on my sword, right? Catherine said maybe she did something. What's up, Amazing Brooks? Catherine said maybe she did do something. She maybe did do something, Catherine. You might be right. But what I'm saying, though, I'm asking the parents, Catherine, would they apologize? Would they apologize? And she's saying she didn't think she did anything wrong, or she can't remember if she did anything wrong. Would you apologize just to be back in a relationship with your grandbaby? Because if you apologize, you got to understand they hold. If you apologize for something you didn't do, hey, they got all the power. They got all the power. And for me personally, I can't apologize for something that I didn't do. I'm sorry. I can't apologize for something I didn't do. Now, Catherine, you could be right. Maybe she did do something she didn't realize it. That could be possible too. But if I know I didn't do anything, sounds like my parents. Catherine, what you mean sound like your parents? Your parents, so for you, Catherine, your parents, they don't realize, or they don't understand, or for them, they didn't do anything wrong to you? What's up, Amazing Brooks? Was it one of those situations where they just were so unaware of the way that they raised you and that they treated you, that they were unaware of the things that they did, or did they just, put it so far down that they forgot about it? What was your situation, Catherine? What was it for you? You know what I'm saying? Because I see that a lot. A lot of adult children say their parents seem to forget some of the shit that they did to them, right? Or, and let's say this, Catherine, their story and your story, the versions are two different stories. Are two different versions, right? They want to deny it. Okay. But that's what I'm saying. But so maybe they didn't see it the way that you seen it, Catherine. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't see it the way that you see it. But you said it's you and your sister, y'all both feel the same way. Do you think that it's possible that they didn't see the stories the same way that you did? Do you think that is possible? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think like it was a situation where, you know what? My dad threatened to throw my stuff out in an email, then later denied it. Oh, damn. Hey, look, Catherine, you can't deny no email. You can't deny no paper trail. You can't deny. But let me ask you this. What caused your dad to feel that way? What's the story on that? What caused him to feel that way? You know what I'm saying? Was it one of those just simple misunderstandings? Did you do something to deserve him to want to throw your stuff out? Or was it one of those situations where you felt like he went above and beyond and he was doing too damn much? Let me know that. You know what I'm saying? Was it one of those? Because a lot of times, we always mention what happened on the end, on the back end. Like Catherine saying, he threatened to throw my stuff out. But what caused that? What caused that? You know what I'm saying, Catherine? Was it something that you did to him? Was it something that I told them I felt they were being abusive and I didn't want them around the kids anymore? Oh, okay. Oh, so this is after you had became a mom and had kids and everything. So, my question to you, and you can tell me if you want, you can tell me if you want, or you don't have to. When you say I told them they were being abusive and I didn't want them around the kids anymore, what is your definition of abusive? What is your definition of abusive? Was it physical? Was it the words on the mental aspect? What's your definition of abuse? That's what I want to know. Tell me that. You know what I'm saying? Was it mental? Was it physical? What was going on to where you felt like they were being abusive? That's what I want to know. Was it something that they said that you guys had a disagreement about? Because a lot of adult children, Catherine, they take things and they say it's abuse. And in my generation, us old folks, we look at it as we just having a regular conversation or a disagreement. That's why I'm asking you that question. You know what I'm saying? Controlling, guilt tripping, undermining my parenting, emotional, psychological. Okay. That's what we getting at. Okay. So controlling, guilt tripping, undermining my parenting, emotional, and psychological. So, Catherine, for you, it sounds like to me, one of the biggest issues you have with your parents, they have a problem with the way that you're raising your children. Am I getting that right? Is that the issue that you see? And you say guilt tripping and controlling. They wanted to control the way that you raise your children, maybe? Is it something like that, Catherine? Did they want to control the way that you're raising your children? Then they undermining. And listen, parents, I've said this on my last live, man. That's a problem a lot of parents have. A problem a lot of parents have. These ain't your children. They are not your children. These are your grandchildren. Let their mama and daddy raise them the way that they feel fit to raise them. They got some rules we ain't gonna agree with, y'all. But guess what? They ain't our children. So you can't say shit. It is what it is. I guarantee you, you did some things for your children that your parents didn't agree with. I see a lot of parents have that issue. They want to control every damn thing. They didn't agree with my son who was autistic repeating the year it was recommended by his teacher. See, that's what I'm saying, Catherine. That's what I'm saying. Now, that's a problem. I would have a problem with that. Told me good luck with that. See, I would have a problem with that. That's why I say, man, these conversations are needed. I would have a problem with what Catherine just said. She said they didn't agree with my son who was autistic repeating the year it was recommended by his teacher. They told me good luck with that. I would have a problem with that. I totally agree with you. That's what did it for me. I agree with you on that. I would have a problem with that, y'all. Those are Catherine's children. We can't tell her what she should do for her children as far as education, how she wants to raise them, and she wants to do the gentle parenting, and she believes in, a little bit more strict program. However Catherine want to roll and whatever she want to do, them are her children. And a lot of parents, we struggle with that. A lot of us, man, I don't know what it is, but I realized something. And I had a bad habit of this. We want to control our children like they're still young. And we have to sit back and understand these are full-fledged adults. We're not going to agree with everything that they do. We are not going to agree with everything that they do. But we got to respect their decisions. As long as they ain't abusing or harming the child, we good. Do you think there are some people who just aren't capable of depth of self-reflection, not giving them excuses, but understanding they're stuck in their ways and just settling healthy boundaries? I do agree with that. Yeah, I think, like some people just aren't able to just self-reflect. And I'm gonna be real with you. And thank you for that question, Mason. Well, I'm gonna be real with you too. For me, in our generation, a lot of us struggle with that. We struggle with the self-reflection. Look, parents come at me all the time about that shit. It's my way or the highway. No, man. Some of the ways that we were brought up by our parents were fucked up. It was fucked up. Some of the things and some of the ways we think are fucked up. I mean, we need to get back and say, you know what? We need to self-reflect and say to ourselves, okay, this no contact situation, I know a lot of us wouldn't do it with our parents because that's the way that we were brought up. But some of the things our parents said to us, some of the things that they did to us, man, that's why some of the issues we have now. That's why some of the trauma that we don't want to deal with. And like you said, the self-reflection. For me, man, that was one of the biggest things for me, was to self-reflect and look at myself and see what my issues was, right? To see what my issue was and see how can I get better? What can I do to change the narrative, right? That's what we got to do. But a lot of us, I'm glad you said that, we can't do that. We get to a certain age, we're stuck, we're stubborn. We're stubborn as shit. Y'all know us old folks are stubborn. We stubborn. You know what I mean? So for us, we stubborn. We ain't trying to change. Therapy, ain't nobody trying to do that bullshit. Listen, when we was growing up, we didn't believe in therapy. We did not believe in therapy, right? So a lot of us struggle with the self-reflection. How can we be a better version of ourselves? Forget our children, but how can we be a better version for ourselves, right? Catherine says they then threatened to not help me with driving kids to appointments they were willing to do before. So, see, damn, Catherine. Damn it, more and more I hear your story, more and more I kind of get on your side a little bit, Catherine. Hey, and that's bullshit, Catherine. So all of a sudden, because you said, hey, you know what? He needs to be held back. He's autistic. His education or the teachers are saying he needs another year in this grade. That's okay, right? He needs another year in this grade, and that's okay. And so you saying to yourself, this is what I'm gonna do as a mother. So they say, you know what? Since you want to do shit your way, I'll tell you what we gonna do. We ain't gonna take them back and forth to their appointments. We ain't gonna help you no more. That's what we gonna do. We gonna fix you. Parents, that's wrong. That's wrong. That is totally wrong. Hey, how you doing? That's totally wrong. You know what I'm saying, Catherine? That is wrong. I don't give a damn how you look at it. For them to say basically, now I get why you saying they were manipulating the whole situation. That was their punishment, 100%. Now I see why you feel the way you do, Catherine. Now I see the way you feel, why you do. Now I get it. It took me this long, Catherine. It took me this long to finally get it, y'all. I've been talking to Catherine for I don't know how long. Tonight, for some odd reason, she done broke it down to where I get it now. Now I get it. So they wanted to control your whole situation with your son. You doing what you think is best for him as far as his education, with the way that you're raising him. He's an autistic child. You have to raise him differently. You got to parent him differently. They basically said, you know what? If you ain't gonna do shit my way, we ain't gonna help you. We not gonna help you. Okay. Because Catherine, I'm like, damn, I ain't know this version. But now that you say it like that, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. I totally get it now. Yeah, now I'm on your side. I agree with you. And that's why I tell parents all the time, man, listen, a lot of us parents made a lot of mistakes. A lot of us parents made a lot of mistakes. Children, what I'm gonna tell you guys is, give your parents some grace. It's our first time being parents. It's hard as shit. Hell, y'all know the ones of you that are parents right now, y'all know how hard it is. There's no book, right? There's no book. But if your parents have done something to you where there ain't no coming back from, hey, I get that too. I get that part too. You know what I'm saying? I get that part too, and I understand that aspect of it. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? They lied about what his doctor said about homeschooling. I reached out to the doctor, and he said he never recommended that and to listen to the school advice. See? So, Catherine, how you felt was, for you, they were damn near trying to harm you and your child, right? They were lying and manipulating the whole situation. So for you like, man, that ain't family. And I'm gonna tell you something, Catherine, damn it, I don't blame you. Shit, I would have been the same damn way. It's almost like you trying to set me up. I can't fuck with you. I don't give a damn if you is mom and dad. I can't fuck with you now. Now I get it. Now I get it. They denied it. See, now I get it. You know what I'm saying? I was raised to always question my own actions and self-reflect. It's hard though. Most people don't have that type of benefit of that doubt mentality with others, like always help. 100%. See, man, it took me a long time more to understand that aspect. I wondered why, I look at my parents, and when I look at them, I say to myself, my parents were raised in the 50s and, the 50s or whatever. So they're stuck in their ways and their ways of doing anything. And so they don't reflect on that. So they in this mindset of what you see is what you're going to get. I ain't switching up shit. And I think that as for parents, for us parents, we struggle with that. I struggle with that. I was one of those old school mind thinking brothers like, man, look here, this is my house, my rules, shut the fuck up. You're going to do what I tell you to do. And the way I think is the right way. When I went to counseling and therapy, I started realizing like, nah, what that's from like some back day trauma that you was dealing with and that you never dealt with. And so now you putting these negative thoughts onto your children, right? So you got to change the way that you think moving forward, not just for your children, but for yourself. And like you said, you got to self-reflect. How can I get better? I ain't trying to get better for nobody else. I'm trying to get better for myself. I want to be the best version that I can be for myself, right? But that's a lot of us parents can't do that. A lot of us parents cannot do that because we think our way of thinking is 100% always the right way. We think, hey, what's the old school say? What we used to say? What your parents used to tell you? You know, you see your mama smoking a cigarette or doing something like that. They say, Mom, you told me not to smoke. Boy, don't do what you see me doing. Shit, do what I tell you. Y'all remember that? They always tell us that, right? So that's the way we grew up. But now we're in a situation where it's different. Kathy says, Mom is extremely manipulative. My mom would put me and my sister against each other. She sent me an email that my sister was just, see what I'm saying? Catherine. See, Catherine? Damn it, we need to talk more. That's what I'm saying. That right there, pinning siblings against each other. What you think? Hey, Catherine, I'm gonna ask you a question. Are you and your sister close nowadays? Or do you have a close relationship? Did that put a damper into your relationship with your sister, Catherine? Oh, y'all got a good, y'all see, Catherine, your shit is making more and more sense to me. I'm a team Catherine around here, man. Come on. So that is crazy. Oh, so okay, so y'all got a good relationship now. So y'all moved on past all that. A lot of siblings struggle with that. And to me, parents, that's one of the worst things we can do. I had a bad habit. I got one of my middle daughter, man. She's very, very successful. And I would tell my other children, I would say things like, man, why don't you do things like such and such, such and such? And one day my children told me, they said, Dad, that bothers us when you say that. That bothers us when you say that. So I had to humble myself and go back and look. And when I went to therapy, I understood, you can't pin kids against each other. You shouldn't. That's going to make their relationships as they get older harder. You want your kids to have the type of relationships where they like bonded by the hip. They best damn friends. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. You don't want to pin, like Catherine was saying, her mama sending her emails about her sister being jealous of her. Think about that relationship between her and her sister. Think about how that could have turned everything around. That shit could have switched it up all the way. You know what I'm saying? If Catherine would have took that a certain way and said to herself, well, man, she jealous of me. I ain't fucking with her no more. And that's your sister. That's your blood. When mama and daddy gone, she's still going to be there. She's still going to be that parent. That's what I'm telling y'all, man. When you look at some of the ways and some of the things we did because some of the past trauma that we dealt with and we never dealt with it, these are some of the reasons that we pass this on to our children. And some of them have some issues with the things that we say and that we do. You got to check yourself. You got to self-reflect yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't want her doing that to my 100%. Hey, and on the cool, Catherine, too. Now I see why you don't want your children around your parents. I get it. I totally get it now. I wouldn't want my children around parents like that either. To be honest with you, I totally get it now. But like I say, parents, and Catherine, you know, I always tell y'all, every no contact situation is different. Catherine's, she has a point. She has a reason why she went no contact. There's a lot of us who are dealing with no contact because we're dealing with spoiled, entitled children, right? I think it's hard, ultimately, Mason Morse, I think it's hard, ultimately, some parents' version of love is control. Oh, yes, and they truly are just stuck in their ways. Have grace for them, but also just understanding their way, the way that they operate. Balance, 100%. Man, I think it's hard. Ultimately, some parents' version of love is control. That's so deep right there, y'all. Because I dealt with that. You know, you want to control everything, and you basically saying, I love you so much, I want to control everything and every aspect of your life. Mason, one of my biggest things that I did, I was a helicopter parent, so I wanted to fix every fucking thing. So any and every damn thing, anytime my children came to me, they had an issue, I was running out there to fix it, trying to fix it. Wouldn't listen, just wanted to fix it. Fix it, fix it, fix it. And I didn't realize until my children told me that they had an issue with that, right? But my thing was, why should I allow you to make the mistakes that I made when I can cover it and when I can fix it, right? And so, and like you said, and they're just truly stuck in their ways. I'm telling you, and Catherine, I don't know how old your parents are. Listen, I talk to thousands of parents. And a lot of times us, as we get older, we are truly stuck in our ways. But you know what though, Mason? Damn it, that ain't an excuse for us no more. Shit. I understand being stuck in the ways And I understand they should, you should have grace for your parents. But us as parents, sometimes we got to look at shit differently and say to ourselves, man, you know what? 63, okay. You say, you know what? Hey, the way I think and the way that I move and the way that I operate, man, that shit may not be the proper way to move. And like I say, Mason, check this out. This is my thing. A lot of parents struggle with, like Catherine was talking about, with the way that their children raise their grandchildren. A lot of them struggle with that. Now, Mason, I don't know how old you are, but in my generation, right, when your parents gave you some advice about your children, you just kind of blew it off and kept it moving. This generation ain't gonna do that. They gonna let your ass know that they not feeling what the fuck you talking about. You know what I'm saying? You were like my mama. I'm the youngest of 4 kids, 27 years old now. But by the grace of God, majoring in marriage and counseling college. But now my parents and I have a very close. Man, Mason. Yeah. So was your mom the type of person, like, was she a helicopter parent, wanted to fix everything? Did you take that when you were growing up with her? Did you take that as a situation where you thought it was overbearing for you, Mason? Was it a lot to deal with? And now that you're in the educational aspect and you're looking at it, does it make you look at it differently? Because you said, but by the grace of God, you know what I'm saying? And now you kind of got an understanding of exactly what they went through and what was going on. So did you give them grace because you started studying and you started understanding what they were going through? Because, hey, kudos to you. Catherine says, honestly, I think my mom has bipolar or narcissism. Okay, she could be. Oh, that's another thing, Kat. That's another thing. We don't believe in the mental health aspect. Shit, ain't nothing wrong with him. He all right. Well, go outside and get you a walk. You be okay. Like, drink your drink. You know what I'm saying? Mason says, I was very sheltered. My narrow-mindedness at the time, I felt like she just wanted to control. Now I understand her trauma from growing up and that it was coming from a place of love. Come on, Mason. Come on. Woo. Borderline. Oh, I got you, borderline. Woo, Mason. That right there. She said, I was very sheltered. My narrow-mindedness at the time, I felt like she just wanted to control. I got you, Catherine. Now I understand her trauma from growing up and that it was coming from a place of love. That's it right there, y'all. That is it. I think, man, that's so powerful right there. That is so powerful right there. Because I feel like us as parents, that's how we feel. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, we love so hard. We love our children, but sometimes we're overbearing. We do so much because we love them and we want them to know how much we love them, but we overstep our boundaries. And it's just, man, and like she said, now I understand her trauma from growing up. And that's what I was saying earlier. We dealt with a lot of trauma from growing up that we never dealt with, through therapy or anything of that nature. And it took me going through therapy and going to therapy to realize that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times, Mason, we had issues, but we weren't aware of the issues because we were so used to being toxic. You were so used to your parents telling you, if you don't do this, your ass ain't gonna be nothing in life. You know what I'm saying? If you don't go that route, you're gonna be sorry, you're gonna be doing this, you're gonna be doing that. So we were just used to that. So whenever we had you guys, we came at you guys the same damn way. And we were overbearing. But we didn't realize at that point in time, that was because of the trauma that we had in our past that we never dealt with. That was from then. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say that's so powerful, man. Kat says, I was never allowed to make my own. See? Parents. Kat says, I was never allowed to make my own decisions. So, Kat, what did that do to you, not being allowed to make your own decisions? Once you became a full-fledged adult and you got that freedom, was you like, man, I'm out of this bitch. I'm making my own decisions, doing what I want to do, how I want to do it. Can't nobody tell me shit. Was you on that, Kat? Was that the way you was thinking? You know what I mean? Was that the way you was thinking? Because I can see that. Now, looking back, being a helicopter parent, being overbearing, always stepping up and handling any situation that popped up instead of allowing my children to navigate the world, to handle up on shit, do things that they need to do. My parents were still involved, so no. Okay. All right. So, Kat, so when did you break away? Like, what age did you say, man, I'm done? Well, how long have you been no contact? That's my question for you. How long have you been no contact? Hey man, look, hey man, this is some good stuff right here though. Mason, I appreciate that, man, because like I say, that's what a lot of parents struggle with. A lot of us struggle with that aspect. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you're 32. Okay. All right. So was it in your younger days? 2.5 years. Okay. All right. Mason says, for example, growing up, my mom always responded um, in anger with things, and I always thought she was the bad guy. But my mom had a very tough childhood, so when she feels hurt, she responds in anger to protect herself. Man, man, man. And when she feels hurt, she responds in anger to protect herself. And I always thought she was the bad guy. Man, man. Hey, so that's right there, man. So when you were growing up, she responded in anger with things, like minor things too, right, Mason? And you always thought, man, she was the bad guy. You always thought, man, mama always mad. She always angry about something, right? She always angry about something. But that was her response in anger to protect herself. That's the only thing she knew from her childhood. So, Mason, was her childhood, were her parents abusive, or just was she around a bunch of toxic situations growing up? So I had to learn to, when I see her have that reaction, to, instead of defending myself or combating her, I've learned to ask mama, I'm sorry, is everything okay? Oh, Lord. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. So, mate, so hold on now. So how long did it take you to learn this aspect? Did you know this while you were growing up in the household? Or was it something that you figured out as you started your studies? Let me know that. Because, man, look here, I'm going to have to get you on the Aaron Real Talk Show, because this right here, what you talking is, man. Captain says, me and my sister weren't removed by DCF in high school because my mom was physically, me and my sister were removed by DCF in high school because my mom was physically abusive. Damn. So, Cat, that's why when I see you on the chat, you be like, bullshit. Cat be like, hey, some of you trash ass parents deserved it. Oh, not till 24 years old, just to be honest. Okay, so what changed for you though? Was it the educational aspect, or did you just start paying attention to and looking back at your mother's life and you say, you know what? Now I see why she acts the way that she does. Now I get you, Cat. Cat, I ain't mess with you no more. You good on my end. You get a free pass from me, Cat. You ain't mess with you no more. You know, I mean, you good. So now I see. Now I really, really see. And that's why I tell you, but Kat, you've heard me say it time and time again. All no contact is not equal. You got some trash ass parents out there who deserve to be no contact. You say, what took you so long? You know what I'm saying? What took you so long, right? DCF was called since my sister was 7 years old. She would beat my sister and pull her by the hair. Oh. So, Kat, was it... Did your parents have a horrible relationship? Like, was your mom abused while she was coming up? Mason says, I think it was accumulation of talks we had, and also just real experience I had in my own life. Also the way that studying has started to. Okay, so let me ask you this, Mason. So whenever you first, whenever you were first going through it all, right? And you graduated high school, you get ready for college, were you still angry at your mom at that point in time? And then as you matured, you got a little bit older, did you just start looking at things differently, right? Did you start looking at it differently? Did you start doing a little bit more research? Man, why my mama like this? Why is she so angry? What's really going on? Was that the type of vibe that you had going on? Cassie, yeah, they blame my sister for DCF being involved. See? So, Kat, you had those type of parents that were abusing you guys, doing any and every damn thing under the sun, and then blaming you guys for getting the laws involved. Blaming you So, Kat, let me ask you a question. I know you told me last time you were going through therapy, and that you had dealt with a lot of trauma. Are you in a better headspace currently since starting to go through therapy? How are you feeling lately? My sister was the problem child. So was your sister actually a problem child, or did they make her the problem child? Did your parents make her the problem child, or was she actually the problem child? Like for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Was she actually that person? Yeah, but Kat, I know you said you're going to therapy right now. Has that been helping you also? Man, Mason, I mean, I think a lot of parents need to hear this. I said it. I said a lot. A lot of times, they made her the problem child. I got you. A lot of times, us as parents, man, we got to take a deep, dark look inside. Inside. You know what I'm saying? We got to take a deep, dark look inside, and a lot of us don't want to do that. It's hard. It's hard for us to examine ourselves. It's hard because you got to humble yourself. You got to humble yourself. You got to say to yourself, what can I change and get better? How can I become a better version of myself? What can I do? Right? And for us, in the generation that we grew up in, we didn't grow up believing in therapy. We didn't grow up believing in mental medication and things of that nature. We grew up being, man, you better toughen up. You better toughen up. You ain't no punk. You better put your back against the wall. You got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that is trauma built up, and we've had that, and we haven't done anything. We haven't done anything about that trauma. So any parents listening to this right now, I'm gonna hey, listen, you guys, look into therapy. Find you a good therapist. If you know you got a problem, don't be embarrassed. Find you a good therapist. Mason says, started want to get to the root of it. I've come to understand that there's a reason for everyone's actions, whether they're valid or not. I think it's fruitful to get to the root. Mason, if I can just I'm going to read that one more time for the adult children out here listening. She said, started wanting to get to the root cause of the issue my mom had. I've come to understand that there's a reason for everyone's actions, whether they're valid or not. I think it's fruitful to get to the root. And check this out, Mason. You not saying, hey, you know what? Forgive your parents for any wrongdoing that they've done, right? You're not saying that. You're not saying that. What you're saying is, I think you should take a deep look into your parents' situation, the way that they were brought up, the way that they were raised, and you make your own educated decision on how you want to move going forward, right? And if you find out that your parents were abused, had some traumatic issues growing up, anything of that nature, you might say, you know what? Now I understand. I'm going to give my mama and my daddy some grace. I'm going to give them some grace because now I get it, right? But on like Catherine's situation, and Mason, I don't know if you would consider yourself being abused, but Catherine was physically and mentally abused. When you start talking about child protective services coming to take you away from your parents, come on now. That's on a whole different ballgame. That's on a whole different ballgame. And I see why Kat went no contact. I see why she did. I see why she chose to not have her children around her parents. I see why. I understand her and her sister, right? I get it now. You know what I'm saying? My sister was physically, 100%. She said my sister was physically abused. That's what I'm saying. So the way that you grew up, Kat, I understand it. I truly do. But I wish what Mason was saying, I'm telling you, I wish a lot of adult children just could hear that aspect of it. Man, find out. When you're looking at your parents, I know we like to look at our parents as heroes, they know it all. Man, dig deep and find out what really happened on their upbringing. What really happened on their upbringing, right? Mason, yes, I think that in that case, that it was boundaries that was required for sure, 100%. 100%. But like I say, man, for a lot of adult children, if you can, I ain't talking about the ones who've been abused, sexually assaulted, anything of that nature, right? Just done bad. Some parents were horrible. Some were horrible. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the ones, like Mason was saying earlier, who parents were overbearing, who were helicopter parents, who was doing too much, where you guys just had a disagreement. Hey, Mason, I get messages about children and parents, they fell out because of their political views. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones to me, man, you need to take a deep look, deep dive into your parents' background. How were they raised? What did that look like? Will they be? Well, you know what I'm saying? Was it an issue with them growing up? Do they have some past trauma that they haven't handled? You know what I mean? I think that's what we need to get to. There's some of their trauma that I probably shouldn't know about, to be honest. Oh, okay. Okay. That's what, you know what I'm saying, though, Mason? That's what I wish that we could do. Right? I think a lot of this no contact in the situations, if both sides could come together and we can agree to disagree on certain things, right? We can agree to disagree on certain things, but then realize and say to ourselves, how can we move forward together? How can we both move forward? What can we do? And like you said earlier, Mason, first thing you got to do is self-reflect. Self-reflect. One of the hardest things to do is self-reflect. You have to self-reflect and look at yourself. Hey, listen, and you got to humble yourself. When your children tell you something about yourself, and it's real, because some of the shit they say, we know damn well that shit is real. You know that shit is real. I told y'all before, I run my mouth. I would say things without thinking about it. So my children told me that bothered them, coming up and raising them. I had to check myself on that. I had to check myself on that because I didn't understand. I'm not dealing with a version of me. They different. They different. I can't talk to them the way my parents talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. So I had to check myself. Mason says, I don't want to say my parents were abusive. I think my mom unintentionally made me grow up feeling like their love was conditional. But I've also come out of it and made me who I am today. Ooh. Hold on, Mason. Hold on. So for you, you saying to yourself, you didn't allow your situation growing up make you angry, dictate who you are going forward. You didn't allow that situation do that to you. I think if people can just see that version and understand that aspect, right? And understand that aspect. Me and Kat had this conversation last week. I think it was last week or so. And I said, man, one thing I want everybody to understand and get better at and realize that our past is just that, it's our past. Kat says she's in therapy now. I'm praying everything is going right with her in therapy because I think to move forward, we can't sit back and blame our childhood on everything as we move forward, right? Now, by saying that, and I'm talking about just regular situations and issues you may have had with your parents of disagreement. I'm not talking about if you was, God forbid, sexually abused, anything of that nature. No, yes, I don't blame you. I know you're gonna have some issues. I know you're gonna need some deep therapy. I know you're gonna need a whole lot to get past that. You know what I'm saying? But I do love the fact what you said. And me and Kat talked about that, like moving forward. And Kat, you know what I'm saying? And now I get why you say that you raise your children the way that you do, Kat. Because Kat believes in raising her children. Me and her had this conversation about gentle parenting and, gentle parenting. And now I look at it and I understand why. I understand why. So Kat is like, I'm going to do the teetotal opposite of what my parents did to me. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to warn you on this, Kat. Be careful with that. Be careful with that, right? Because a lot of times what we do, we try to become the better version of our parents and we end up fucking up shit even worse. Because that's what I did. My parents were more disciplined than I was, and I was a laid-back, easy dad. I just ran my mouth a little bit. I would say shit, off the top of my head, and I would just blurt it out and say it. But I was laid back. All the kids came to my house and all that shit. That shit beat me in my ass. So I'm going to tell you like this. I know you don't want to be the version of your parents because, some of the abuse and the trauma that you dealt with, but just be careful not to just go teetotally different down that different street. You know what I'm saying, Kat? You got to have a balance. If you can have I don't know what your balance might look like. I don't know what your balance might look like. But I love what Mason said. We can't allow the way that we were raised to affect us as adults. We have to do the work. I get that. You know what I'm saying, Kat? We got to do the work. So, we got to do the work. We got to understand where we're at currently. That's why when Kat told me last week that she was doing therapy, she got the right therapist. And she was working through her situations. Because I see a lot of people who let their childhood, the trauma and the issues that they had in their childhood, and they keep blaming that for their adult actions. And I tell them, I say, look here, man, you gotta leave that shit in the back. We got to keep moving forward. Man, get you some help. Get you some therapy. If you need, get your ass on some medication. Damn it, do something. We got to switch the narrative. We ain't gonna allow how we were raised to dictate us in the future. And parents, that go for us too. Some of the shit and some of the ways we was raised, we know that shit wasn't right. We know some of the ways our parents spoke to us, that shit wasn't right. It's time to switch it. It's time to switch it. So when they brought me to court, I was free. Oh shit. I forgot, Kat, you told me they took you to court. Mason says not to dismiss trauma that happened mainly for my generation, but instead of always being a victim, looking inward, taking accountability for the things we did do, working on growing, moving forward. Woo! Shit! Man, come on now, Mason. That's what I'm talking about. Not to dismiss the trauma that happened. That's what I'm talking about. But instead of always being the victim, looking forward. And I think, man, if we can get people to understand that right there, this whole dynamic of estrangement and shit would look a lot differently. I think it would look a lot differently. A lot differently. And look, Mason, me and Kat always had this conversation. Because I tell her, man, and I'm not knocking trauma or anything like that. I know everybody's version of trauma is different. But I say, I think trauma, that word is thrown around just a little bit too just loose. You know, everybody got trauma. Me telling you to get up, you're going to be late for the school bus is not trauma. Me telling you if you continue to date this young man, you're going to be a baby mother living out of wedlock on food stamps is not trauma. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. I'm telling you what it's going to look like. You know how I know? Because I've been there. I was once that dude. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? About to make some shirts, bro. Looking and we're moving forward or some shit. Hey, when you make them, I'm buying one. I'm buying one. I'm telling you right now. Send me the motherfucking PayPal. I'm buying one. I'm gonna give them away to some of my people, man. I'm buying them. Hey, I like that right there, man. But no, man. Hey, I appreciate you rocking with me tonight, man. It was a good conversation. Thank you and Kat, man. Thank you guys so much, man, for coming on the live, man. I've been trying to get this YouTube live thing going. YouTube ain't no joke, man. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight, man. Like I say, hey, any shirts you do, send me. I got you. I'm buying some, man. I'm telling you right now, I'm buying them, man. But thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hey, that's nice meeting you, man. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. Kat, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for coming on tonight. Kat, you know you my people. I see you on TikTok sometime tonight. But no, I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. Like I say, make sure you like, follow, and share, man. Hey, if you follow me, I'm following you back. So, Mason, I don't know if you follow me or not, man, but if you do, I'm following you back, man. I appreciate you rocking with me tonight, man. Y'all make sure y'all enjoy the rest. You got IG? I do, man. I just started IG, actually. Hey, follow me on IG. It's the same Aaron Real Talk. So I'll follow you back. You know what I'm saying? That's the main socials I roll on. Follow me now, and I'm going to follow you back on IG then. So you know what I'm saying? Do that for me, and I got you. Hey, I appreciate you rocking with me tonight, though, man. Y'all make sure y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night, man. I thank you guys.